Welcome to the Whiskey Bugger Live. I want to talk to you folks about this headline I saw. This isn't clickbait. If you're reading what was on the channel, fishing lost 19 million people. Let's talk about it. And I want to hear from you too, because I'm going to get into this and you're going to start joining and you're going to think, I have some thoughts on that. There's a couple ways you can interact. You can either leave a comment. I'll read those. I'll put them up as we go. But also, you can call in. I'm going to throw this banner up for you. 747 fly fish. That's 747 fly fish. That's 359-3474. And you can talk on air, kind of old school radio style. So if you want to talk to me, that's the number. It's on the screen. I'm not going to keep hitting it, but you can also leave a comment and I'll get to those as well. So when I say 19 million people were lost, what am I talking about? Okay, this is this 2026 special report on fishing from the American Sportfishing Association, joined with the Outdoor Foundation to put out this special report project. And one of the crazy numbers that came out of this is that there was a churn rate of 19 million people leaving fishing in 2025. It's a net loss of 1 million total because about 18 million new participants joined, but it's the highest number ever recorded of people just leaving the sport of fishing. And I had some thoughts on it. It made me think of some other things as well that go along with the sense of community, a lot of the online presence of fishing that's very popular right now, and what it all means, and what I think we need in fishing to kind of assuage some of those exoduses of people out of the sport. So once again, give me a call if you want to chime in once you start watching, you get into this. But here's kind of some of the rundown of it. It's that there were still an all-time high participants. Now, the all-time high was down a little bit from, I think it was 2021 when they hit peak participation fishing. And this isn't just one category of fishing. It's freshwater, it's saltwater, it's fly fishing. But there were 57 million total participants in 2025 that went fishing. And that's about an 18% participation rate within the entire population of the US. It's down almost 1 million from 2024. But what that number that I really was kind of shocked by is that it was a turnover of 19 million. And I think, to me, a lot of this from this report is focused on the economic side. It's focused on kind of people that are in an industry and looking at, how can we retain our customer base if we're guides, if we're outfitters, if we're brands. But I want to look at this as a consumer and someone that wants the fishing industry to do well, and for more people to come in and for there to be this community. And what they cited in the report was that a lot of people thought that there were too crowded of spots, water was unclean, gear was too expensive. Some even didn't like being outdoors in and of itself. Now, that one I can't help you with. If you just don't like being outdoors, if it's uncomfortable, then you're probably not going to like an outdoor activity. But this churn rate of 19 million, I think there's something from a brand side, economic side, that this report is interested in, but that from a consumer side, we can really affect as well. And I think what we are seeing, and I see people complain about it all over the place within the fishing internet, on Instagram, on YouTube. There's kind of two categories that are really dominating the entire show right now. You've got the gatekeepers. You've got the old guard, the people that want to keep it pure, that are happy that 19 million people probably left the sport because that means less crowded water spots. And then you also have the influencer crowd. And those are people that have, brand sponsorships. They've got promo codes for you to get 15% off. And they're also the ones that are making it look so easy to catch a brown trout the size of a Buick, right? Like they cast once on Instagram and immediately hook set on a dry fly and reel in the largest fish you've ever seen in your life so quickly. But that's not reality. But also, it's not reality that the old guard gatekeepers of keeping people out and complaining about the influencers, neither of those are helping the health of the sport. And so, what I think the sport really needs is more shepherds at this time. And I think the data in this report from the special report on fishing from the American Sportfishers Association really touches on that without knowing that they're touching on that, because they found that 86% of adults who fish today started fishing before the age of 12. Now, when I say that we need shepherds, I don't necessarily mean everyone needs a mentor or a father figure, but I think it needs people that want to create a community, foster a community, and make people feel welcome. Fishing traditionally has had a feel about it of being much more isolated sport. You can get out by yourself. You can go get away from the noise by yourself, and that's good. That's healthy. But if you're also interested in an information age and you're trying to get information, and you either have people showing you that it's the easiest thing in the world and you got to have all this nice gear and it's very expensive, or you have people that are telling you all that's bad, or you shouldn't get into it, or you're doing it wrong, you're fishing it wrong, neither of those people are going to make you want to stay. And so, with 86% of the people that are still fishing that are adults today started before the age of 12, that's because they had a foundation. They had someone there that took them, they had someone there that encouraged them. They have a reason to enjoy it. And that's part of the problem I see in the way the internet community is presenting this sport today. That is one of the main reasons, regardless of what this report says about it being crowded spots, unclean water, cost of gear, etc. I don't think that's the true heart of why 19 million people decided this isn't worth it. This isn't the hobby for me. Now, it could be some of them that thought that, some of them may just not like it. But seeing in this day and age where the accessibility to different kinds of fishing, to different kinds of gear, I mean, the fact that fly fishing itself has 7.9 million participants, that is one of the highest numbers of all time participating in that. There is more interest in fishing than there ever has been. But if the people on the internet aren't able to foster the health of this community, then it's going to bring down the economics of it. It's going to bring down the brands. You see people complaining about some brands getting picked up by private equity, some brands sticking to their guns. But at the end of the day, if we're just arguing and bickering and not shepherding people along, what good is it? Is it really worth it? I have a lot of experience with lifestyle media. If you know me, if you're seeing this from somewhere else, I mean, this is obviously a very small channel. There's currently live 5 of you watching. And if you want to call in, go ahead. You can go to the number is 747-359-3474. You see it on the screen. The community that my friend Matt Grease and I built was centered around whiskey. You see a lot of whiskey bottles behind me. And we saw something similar when we started that 10 years ago in the community that centered around whiskey. There were the people online that were bragging. They were the influencers that had the cool bottle, got the Pappy Van Winkle, got the allocated bottle, and took a picture of it in their car, posted it, and that was going to go sit on a shelf. Then you had the people that complained about those people, the gatekeepers. Whiskey's for drinking. Yeah. Oh, too bad I'll never get one of those. Complaining about the way that merchants ran their own businesses. And that went rampant. And what do we see? We see right now a collapse of that hobby in that industry. It got way too popular, way too fast, and collapsed right underneath it. And you're seeing a return to normalcy. There's not a craze about it like there was. But what lasted were relationships that were built along the way. And that hobby is still popular for many people, but it doesn't have the reach that it did. And what we did when we built our podcast, it was called The Podcast, was that we focused not on getting the best stuff or knowing everything. We focused on having a drink with a friend. And that is what made it different. That is what grew a community that led from us hanging out with friends, opening bottles, to having events with hundreds of people traveling from all over the world to hang out and to share with each other. And I think that's what we're missing in fishing media right now. Every October, I go to Western Colorado with a great group of friends. And some of them are people that the only reason I met them was because that whiskey community that we built was based off friendships and not the product. And you've seen, if you've watched any of the videos on this channel, if you haven't, I encourage you, go ahead and do so. I have a very special video of one of those trips to Colorado. And what separates those friendships that came out of a hobby is that it wasn't about the hobby at the end of the day. And now I get to go fishing with them every year in October in Colorado, in one of the best places to go fishing in the world, gold medal stream, trout fishing for monsters on the tailwater, and then in the reservoir above, unbelievable fishing as well. That wouldn't happen if the hobby that I was a part of was just about gatekeeping or influencing. And so we're seeing a churn in the whiskey hobby like never before. Fishing as a hobby is much older, much more well established. I'm not saying that it's going to fall apart in that way, but I think this is an opportunity that can be seized. The other thing that I would go to, and this goes back to this report, is that youth fishing participation fell about 600,000 from the peak in 2020. So in 5 years, it's down 500,000 participation. There's studies that kids are getting as little as 7 minutes a day of unstructured outdoor play. It's a sad state, and people talk about kids these days, and they talk about the internet and screens, etc. But once again, these are opportunities to see how things can change. And so this should be an encouraging report that we have this data. Most people are not going to sit around and read the American Sportfishing Association report like I do, because I'm a nerd and I like to understand why people do things that they do. But I think that pulling these things out are really something that, if you're even a casual fisher, if you're just a hobbyist, make sure it's not just about that catching of the fish. That's the old adage. It's called fishing, not catching, for a reason. If you can build the community around you, not with just gatekeepers and curmudgeons, and not just influencers that want to put up a great picture online, but with actual people, it's a way to build friendships, it's a way to build memories, and it's a way to get out of the craziness of the world in a way that I think more people need to do. There's another angle to it as well. And I think it's one of those more touchy subjects in public life, right? It gets political. The environment, nature has become an inherently political thing. But I think there were glimmers of hope that many people saw over the last years or so, with news that upset people about political decisions, about natural resources and national parks and public land, that you saw for the first time in a long time a unifying topic between people that are traditionally on the right, traditionally conservative, and traditionally on the left, more liberal. When you look at something like that, when it's an issue that you can, instead of it being politicized because it's the environment or conservation, depending on which party you prefer, take those moments. And when you see participation in something declining, 19 million people that are using resources in a positive way for recreation in fishing leave, Those are also 19 million potential guardians of the resource that are walking away. So, not to get preachy, not for it to be something that has to be political, but if you want to be a good steward of your resource, if you want people to care about it, the easiest way for them to care about something is to enjoy it, to actually have an affinity for it, to love it. And if they don't love it, why would they care about your local stream, about the water quality from runoff from all the construction around you? So you can get people that actually want to care more about the resource you enjoy and want to use by shepherding them along, not making them feel like they're an outcast or they don't belong. So that's kind of the long and short of what it is tonight. I've got a couple comments here I'm going to go through. I appreciate you all for watching. And if you're watching a replay, go ahead and leave a comment below. If you're not subscribed, as of live right now, I am 9 away from that magic 1,000. So I'd really appreciate it. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and maybe more people will see it later. But I want to go to a couple of these comments here. I'm going to take away that call in banner and go back here. We have Frames by Patrick. First fishing trip was with my grandfather. Remember it like yesterday, just pure memories. Stories shared that now at 33 years of age, I still remember. You're right. Fishing's about the relationships. We have someone from that fishing trip in Colorado with 2025 Dam whiskey in hand currently. What he means by that, and I'll grab it. This is actually, I believe, this is 2022. So I'll one up you. I've got the vintage. Dam whiskey is something that we collectively put together in Colorado each year at this dam where we meet, where we fish, and we make a giant blend, put it in a barrel, and let it age for a year, and all get to try it together the following year. So, cheers to you, and that's part of it as well. Creating rituals, creating memories and traditions and legacy. All of these things are important, and we're seeing more and more of that go away. We're seeing more and more people not feel welcome. We are inherently tribal people. And when the tribe doesn't want you, you're going to walk away. That has an economic impact. It affects the brands you love. It affects the places you want to go. But it also affects the quality of what we're doing. So whether it be getting more people involved, whether it be just making new friendships, new bonds over something that you have in common, or just the longevity of the ecosystems that we enjoy by having more people that want to protect it. All of these things are things we can do as consumers, not as brands, not as marketers, not as guides per se. I know no one on here is a guide. Definitely not Ty. Ty is not a guide, but it is all about that. And I want to go back to that because that 86% of adults who fish today started before age 12, and that youth participation is at an all-time low. We may have a great number and people that care about it and watch YouTube videos and follow Instagram accounts and buy fishy gear. But if the youth participation is falling, and those 86% of adults that were fishing before they were 12, when the youth now are in that category, where are the fishermen going to be? So thank you all for watching. Share this if you like the content, if you like what we're talking about. And I ask you to subscribe to the channel if you like it as well. Leave me a comment if you're watching this on the replay. Do you have any thoughts on this? Needing more shepherds, not more influencers, not gatekeepers. We've got enough of those, and some of those can maybe be shepherds as well. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you at some point in the future. I hope to do more lives. Thank you all, and I will talk to you next time. If I can end the stream.